This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update for Monday, June 8th. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a warning that the country's food security is under serious threat. And Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, S. Wolf Reed, is calling on officials to take the necessary steps to urgently replenish the island's food stock. Speaking at the launch of the Barbados Youth Agripreneurship Incubator Program at the Almond Bay Caterers this morning, Reed blamed decision makers of obstructing critical development in the sector.
Unless a concerted and serious effort is not made to replenish this great segment of the farming community, our agriculture sector and our food security in the very near future will be seriously compromised. Ladies and gentlemen, we have already reached or are bordering what I would call crisis status when it comes to the agriculture sector, and bear in mind, it is of critical importance to the recovery of the Barbados overall macro economy. It is necessary that we join forces, therefore at all levels, educational institutions, government and non-governmental community groups, and international organizations to rectify the problem that we are actually realizing in this sector.
Meantime, the Agriculture Minister is being urged to pay closer attention to the sector. The call from a Trinidad-based apostle who's predicting at least 5 years of prosperity for Barbados, followed by some tough lean times. Apostle Vivian Duncan of Divine Destiny Worship Center made the predictions yesterday as he delivered an address at the grand opening of the new building of the Restoration Ministry in Britain's Hill.
As God is saying to me concerning your economy, that you're going to have 3 to 5 years of unprecedented prosperity like you never had in Barbados. But it will be followed by some lean times. And so to be, whoever is your Minister of Agriculture, that he must go study the methodology that he gave to Joseph. Study it, draw principles from it, and apply it, so that when the time of leanness comes, the nation will be ready to deal with it.
In other news, the future of the Chalky Mount Primary School is expected to be determined at a meeting this evening. Educational officials will hold talks with parents and guardians of the approximately 115 students attending the St. Andrew institution to discuss environment and structural damage to the school. When a team from Barbados Today visited this morning, gaping holes could be seen in the floor and the walls. Classes at the school have been suspended for 2 days. The Royal Barbados Police Force says it will launch an investigation into a video that has gone viral on social media in which an officer is seen brandishing a gun. The incident allegedly occurred during a confrontation with residents in New Orleans as the officer sat behind the wheel of a patrol car. Barbados Today is still trying to get an official response from the police administration about the video, which was posted online at the weekend on Facebook. Meantime, an Anglican cleric is raising concerns over the increasing numbers of illegal guns in the country and the situation where firearms are even present at funerals, as rector of the St. George Church, Reverend John Rogers, reconsidering the manner in which he conducts burial ceremonies.
We had another shooting yesterday morning, another fatal shooting. And a few weeks ago, you may recall the guns falling out on the graves. And so I've already made up my mind that there's a possibility that I may be going down to the gravesite to do one committal and have to do 2 or more. And the question has always been, how has it gotten like this? Or we may ask, where are all these guns coming from?
Reverend John Rogers there delivering the sermon yesterday at a service to mark the beginning of the hurricane season. Hundreds turned out yesterday for the first ever Crop Over Heritage Bus Tour. The sold-out tour saw patrons traveling 17 buses, visiting several historical sites, including Sunbury Plantation, Foursquare Rum Distillery, Newton Slave Burial Ground, and the Old City Bar. There were dramatic presentations at each stop by some of the island's best performers and designers, bringing to life planters and rum shop proprietors and the lives of slaves.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Farley Hill, Crane Beach, fried chicken at Pug's Bar. All parts of Barbadian life that some might know, but others don't. So join me, Katrina Marshall, as I go about town and across country, peeking into tucked away districts and liming with the people who bring them to life. About town and across country, coming soon to Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Now, and the Guyana government sends a clear warning to its Venezuelan counterparts. The David Granger administration says it is prepared to take action if the South American country moves to enforce a recent shift in its maritime boundary. The place on the dispute includes an area where an American oil company recently found a significant oil deposit. In a strongly worded statement, the government signaled its plans to formally bring to the attention of the international community what it termed this aggressive and illegal act by Venezuela. And finally, on the international scene, a sixth person dies in South Korea from the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, better known as MERS, amid a sharp increase in infections. It is the biggest outbreak of MERS outside the Middle East, with 87 people testing positive for the disease. Another 2,300 are under quarantine, and nearly 1,900 schools shutting their doors in order to control the spread of the virus.
Hospitals have tightened procedures. Many cases occurred because people with MERS went for treatment and then infected healthy people, including doctors and other patients.
Nearly all the cases so far are people who've gone into hospital and contracted the illness there, and that's not the way it's meant to be. That's why these isolation units have been set up just outside the main building.
In hospitals, they now clean door handles frequently to block one common route of transmission. At the start of the outbreak, family members stayed with patients. Doctors have also now stopped this route of transmission.
There's a structural weakness in Korea. The hospitals are not closed. The patient's family in a multi-dwelling room take care of the patient. So you may have 5 or 6 people, patients, and you'll have 5 or 6 family, each patient having one family member. This is why there was a big spread initially in the hospital in Korea.
About 2,000 schools are closed. The movements of infected people are to be monitored through their mobile phones.
And that's our afternoon updates, but you can join us again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.